Good day, everyone. Today, we will tackle about the future of education, specifically in artificial intelligence. But before we will start our discussion, we will first have the prayer.
Almighty Father, source of truth and light, we thank you for your grace that sustains us. May your love inspire our hearts to serve with integrity and commitment, working together in unity and purpose. Strengthen our responsiveness to the needs of others, and let your word be the lamp to our feet as we build communities rooted in peace, justice, and service.
اللهم إنا نشكرك على نعمتك التي لا تحمى فقولوا قلوبنا بالإيمان وهدي أفولنا بالحكمة واتقى ثوابنا في حديمة الآخرين واجعل أعمالنا حدلا وكلماتنا صدقا وهدفنا موقفا لمشيئتك آمين.
Magbabala, magdaging sa kinaiyahan, pigpasalamatan day, sa grasya daw palangangin hubugta hakabilin. Buligi kay, mapadayon sa pagpangalagad daw pagpasalamat. Pag ilahu mga kalas laasan day, pag uyam mo hualan linimbag, iila kanay sa kagsabuwa, daw kalandang hualan buhat. Amen.
Before we will go to our energizer, we will first have our lesson objectives. So first is to describe the role of artificial intelligence in enhancing education, personalized learning, and future trends. Next is value ethical consideration when using AI in education. And lastly, present a digital tool or solution that promotes effective and ethical use of AI in education, supports personalized learning, and ensure privacy and aligns with future trends. And before we will go to our energizer, we will first, and now, before we will start our discussion, we will have first our small energizer, which is called ChatGPT Challenge. In this activity called ChatGPT Challenge, the teacher will give a prompt similar to how people or students give prompts to an AI. And once the prompt is shown, the students must type a very short answer in the chat within 10 seconds. The answer should only contain 3 words, making it fun and quick thinking task. The students who submits the fastest or most creative 3-word answer will earn a point. So are you ready? Okay, here are the prompts. Number 1, describe artificial intelligence or AI. Number 2, what is the benefits of artificial intelligence or AI? Number 3, why students and teachers use artificial intelligence or AI? Number 4, give examples of artificial intelligence. Number 5, describe the future of classrooms. Are you done? Okay, just comment that below or in the chat box. So I hope you learn and have fun with our energizer, and also I hope you answer it creatively. Okay, that is all. And now we will proceed to our first topic. So now let's discuss first the artificial intelligence artificial intelligence refers to tools or systems that are designed to learn and think like humans. So these systems are able to process large amount of information. No, it recognize patterns, analyze data, and make suggestions. So unlike simple machines, AI can improve its performance over time because it learns from experience and data. So common examples of AI in daily life include voice assistants, recommendation systems on social media, and also chatbots that answer questions and provide support. No? And in the context of education, artificial intelligence plays an important role in improving the teaching and learning process because AI uses computer algorithms, machine learning, and data-driven technologies, which is to support both teachers and students. So for learners, AI can personalize lessons based on their pace, strength, and weaknesses. For example, it can provide easier activities for students who are struggling, and also more challenging tasks for those who are in advance. So AI also give instant feedback on quizzes and activity, which is it helps students know to understand their mistakes and improve immediately. And also for the teachers, AI helps to reduce workload by assisting in checking output. So instead of kanang makahelp na ang AI in checking the outputs of the students. So mas ma-lessen na ang mga trabahoon sa teacher. So mas mo-focus na lang sila sa ilang mga methods or strategies nga ilang i-use for their lessons. And also AI helps organizing learning materials and tracking student progress. So it can also analyze student performance and identify learning gaps, which is it allows teachers to give timely support and interventions. And also, it helps in creating interactive and engaging learning experiences through digital platforms. Kaya na may mga pwedeng gamiton karon sa digital platforms, simulations, and virtual learning tools. So during in our internship, we use different tools in activities for the students. So dili lang kayo traditional among gigamit, but also we use tools that could help mga nga ma-engage ang mga students. So overall, artificial intelligence in education enhances learning. It saves time and promote more flexible, efficient, and student-centered learning environment. But we should also know that not all AI nga atong gamiton is safe and accurate because some AI gave wrong information, gave wrong answers. So we should be we should choose or we should find some AIs that are accurate to use. Before we will proceed, we will have first the questions. First, how do you think AI will affect the future role of teachers? Second, how can AI tools improve education for learners with disabilities or language barriers? And lastly, why is human judgment still important even when AI provides quick answers? So later on, in our discussion, these questions will be answered. So listen carefully. Now, let us also discuss the key applications of artificial intelligence in education. So one major application is the adaptive learning platforms. So these platforms adjust the lesson content based on each student's learning pace and style. So if a student is having difficulty, the system provides simpler explanation and more practice. So if a student is performing well, it offers more a challenging activities, which also helps the students to learn better because the lessons are suited to their individual needs, not a one size fits all approach. So another application is the automated grading system. So this AI can check quizzes, exams, and even written assignments faster and more fairly. So this reduces human bias and saves teacher a lot of time. No kay di ba sa una ang mga teachers kay manual jud na sila og kaning checks sa mga papers. Even me during my internship nagmanual jud ko og kaning checks sa mga papers, and I didn't know nga naa day mga AI nga pwedeng i-use to check quizzes. But also we need to double check because not as what I have said, not all AI are accurate to use. So we need to double check. Okay? So because of this, teachers can also focus more teaching, guiding students, and also improving lessons instead of spending most of their time checking papers. And also, the student also kaning makabenefit po siya because they receive feedback more quickly. So, unlike sa una, ang mga papers, dugay pa jud kaayo mauli kay manualon pa na siya og check. Kay dili ra pud isa ka section ang handulan sa isa ka teacher. So, for butang ta lang sa isa ka section 60 ka book students. So, nya naa siya gihandulan nga 6 ka book section, so dili gyud dali mauli ang mga papers, and it takes a lot of time kay manualon pa man jud na siya og kanang check. But ang uban pud teachers kay manugo sa mga ilahang students to check their papers. But karon nagka-high-tech na naa tay automated grading systems. So next is intelligent tutoring systems, or ITS. So it is also important, this application is also important because this system act like virtual tutors that could guide students while they are learning. So they give step-by-step help, explanation, and also real-time feedback. So if a student make a mistake, the system will also explain why it is wrong and shows the correct way. But again, double check because not all AI are accurate. So this also support independent learning, which it also helps the students to understand lesson more deeply. So another useful application is the chatbots and virtual assistants. So daghan na kay virtual assistants karon, and also chatbots. Just for example, kaning ChatGPT, we can chat there, we could ask anything, and naagid siya ikahatag nga information. But again, double check because it could give chatbots or ChatGPT can give wrong information. Nakasuway na gid ko ana, I asked a question and samot na if ka na mga about sa history and also the dates and the years, it's really not accurate to use. So dapat i-double check jud if mo use og AI. So kaning chatbots and virtual assistants, so these AI tools will help the student by answering frequently asked questions mo na kung giingon, reminding them of deadlines, schedules, and tasks, because there are AIs nga pwede na to siyang ma-use nga pwede ta mo set og mga dates nga or mga schedules na to, so automatically mo notifier jud na nato siya kung for example na ay deadline karon. Just example sa kaning Google Classroom, di ba? If na atay mga automatic gyud na ay mo pop up na notification nga hapit na ang deadline sa atong activity, inana siya It's same na po dana. So also they are these chatbots and virtual assistants, no, they are available anytime, which is helpful for students and also for teachers, no, who need quick information outside class hours. So this also improves communication, no, and keeps students organized. Again, we need to double check the information kay basin wrong information ang imong makuha. Not AI AI is not always accurate. And also lastly, predictive analytics. So predictive analytics uses AI, no, to analyze student data and identify those who may be at risk of failing or dropping out, no. So by recognizing patterns in attendance, grades, and participation, so AI can help teachers. Ang teachers makabenefit ani, and also the schools, no, could provide early support and intervention. So this allows educators, no, to guide students better and help them to choose the right academic path. So before ending this part, no, it's also important good na to remember that while AI has many advantages in education, no, we should also remember of some disadvantages and limitations. Kay AI should be used as a support tool, no, and not a replacement for teachers. Kay human teachers are still kaning essential because they provide emotional support, values, critical thinking, and more guidance than AI cannot fully offer. And also, mas accurate ang teachers because they give correct information, and AI could not give, no, or not fully accurate or not 100% accurate. So overdependence on AI may reduce the students' ability to think independently and also solve problems on their own kay magsalig naman lang sa AI. So just like example, no, katong nag-internship ko, students are really relying on the ChatGPT, and I am na-shock jud ko because high school, kabalo na sila unsay ChatGPT. And whenever kanina ay nakoy I will give them activity, they always ask me nga, teacher or ma'am, can we use ChatGPT? And I always remind them, no, you answer it, no, in your own opinion, in your own understanding, and do not rely more on the ChatGPT. So bisag naa ni advantages ang AI, naapod ni disadvantages and limitations karon samot na nga mga estudyante nga kaning ni rely na maayo ani. Okay, now let's move on to why are schools, no, and educators starting to use AI today. So ngano kaha, no? So, schools and educators are starting to use artificial intelligence today because it helps, no, make the teaching and learning more effective and manageable. So one main reason, no, is that AI can handle routine and time-consuming tasks such as grading, scheduling, and giving basic feedback. So by doing this, no, tasks faster, no, and more accurately. But not always, or not all AI are accurate to use. So AI allows teachers to spend more time on actual instruction, no, mentoring students and building meaningful personal interactions inside the classroom. So this helps improve the overall quality of teaching. So another reason is that AI offers opportunities for personalized learning. No, AI systems can adjust lessons based on each student's pace, strengths, strength, and needs. So those students who struggle can receive extra support, no, and practice, while advanced learners, no, can be given more challenging tasks. And also AI can also provide different types of resources to match the various learning styles, no, and making lessons more engaging and effective for all learners. And lastly, AI can helps improve accessibility and inclusion. So in education, it supports students with disabilities, no, through tools such as text to speech na naman na ron kaning um, text to speech, speech to text na siya ron. Even in Google, you could use that. So mas dali. And it could help with students with disabilities. And also nanay translation, and also adaptive learning content na anapod. And also these tools help remove learning barriers and give all students equal opportunities to participate. So schools, no, use AI today to save time, personalized learning, and create a more inclusive and supportive learning environment. But however, no, it is also important to remember, no, that AI should be used kaning responsibly and ethically. Kay teacher must guide its use, no, protects student data and avoid over dependence on technology, because AI should support education but not replace human interaction, critical thinking, and values information that only teachers can provide. So samot nakatong giingon ako, no, nga protect student data, because a lot of AI karon nga gamiton, no, ang data, student data. Now, let's move to the pros and cons. No, now it is important, no, to understand the pros of AI in education, because it highlights how technology can positively transform teaching and learning. So artificial intelligence is not meant to replace teachers but to support them by improving learning experiences and increasing efficiency and addressing diverse students' needs. No, when used properly, AI can help, no, create more flexible and inclusive and student centered learning environment. So one major advantage is the personalized learning. So AI can adjust lesson content based on student learning style, pace, and level of understanding. So through adaptive learning platforms, the difficulty of lessons and assessments changes depending on students' performance. So when a student struggles with topic, the system provides easier explanation, which also nakastry pud ko ani, like I have one subject that it's very difficult to understand the lesson. So I ask or I use AI, no, to provide some easier explanation, and also it also provide more practice. So yeah, So while advanced learning while also here the advanced learners can receive more challenging tasks. Why? Because they are in advance and they often look for challenging tasks. So this also personalized learning reduces frustration and also increase motivation, and also helps teachers to design lessons that truly match each learner's needs. And another important benefit is accessibility. So AI tools are very helpful for students now, no? With somewhat now with special needs and also learning difficulties. So for example, platforms like Jamworks offer kaning Jamworks, it offers speech to text and reading support that could allow students with disabilities to follow lessons more easily. So, non-native speakers also benefit from real-time translation tools such as Wordly AI. So, naani pwede kaning gamiton, no? Also, it also helped them to understand the lessons better and improve language skills, because this AI promotes inclusive education and ensures that more students can participate equally in class. And also, AI leads to increased student engagement. Why? Because through virtual reality and augmented reality powered by AI, students can experience lessons in more interactive ways, such as visiting ancient historical sites or conducting virtual science experiments. So these immersive experiences make learning more hands-on, memorable, and effective, and especially for those visual learners. So in addition, with this AI-powered gamified learning tools that use rewards, challenges, and leaderboards to make lesson more enjoyable and motivating, encouraging students to stay active and interested in learning. Another advantage is streamlined administrative tasks for teachers. So AI can automate basic tasks, like grading, attendance, attendance checking, and lesson planning. And also there are platforms na pwede na to ma-use, which is Gradescope, that would help the teachers to check assessments faster and more efficiently. And also, this reduces workloads and stresses, giving teachers more time to focus on teaching, mentoring, and supporting the students personally, so ma-lessen ilahang time in checking the students as student assessment. Kay sa una we manually teachers manually check the papers, and it takes a lot of time because it's not one section ra ang iyahang checkan nga papers, but we know that teachers have a lot of sections, and also per section it has 40 to 60 students sa una. So it takes a lot of time. So unlike karon na anay Gradescope nga pwede maka-help sa teachers to check the assessment mas fast and more efficiently. But we need also to double check, because not all AI are accurate to use. So we still need to double check. And next is AI also provide data-driven insights that help improve instruction. So by analyzing patterns in students' work, AI can identify its strengths, weaknesses, and learning gaps. For example, systems like TAUS ba siya? I think TAUS na siya ang pronouns, no? AI give teachers a clear picture and um, a clear picture of student progress, which is also allowing early intervention before problems becomes serious. So this also helps teachers adjust lessons and provide timely support. And lastly, AI offers real-time feedback. So students can access AI tools anytime for help with homework, explanations, and review. Mao na ang mga estudyante karon nga ni-rely gyud maayo ani kay it also help them to answer their homework, to understand lessons nga feel nila kay if para nila lisod jud kayo siya. So we could ask for example ChatGPT, we could ask simpler explanation, but again we need to know, we should know that we should not rely more on AI. So there are chatbots akong ingon like kaning ChatGPT can answer questions instantly while AI tutoring system track progress and identify knowledge gaps, and it also give personalized feedback. So immediate feedback will help students to correct their mistakes early and learn more effectively at their own pace. So diba kung sa una kay ang mga teachers manually sila mag-check, it takes a lot of time, it takes also taas sad ang time na kaning nabi ay teachers na kanang sila ra jud amo check para dili manikas ang mga estudyante kay naabi mga estudyante bud nga sige na nya. So natagam naamang mga teachers nga natagam inaana nga magbutbuot manikas ang mga students. So to avoid that is sila gud ang magmanual og check sa mga papers, and it takes a lot of time and dili dayon matagaan og kaning dili dayon mahibaw-an sa mga students kung asa sila na wrong So in karon we have AI nga pwede ma-use mao nang makahatag dayon kaning feedback that could help the students know their mistakes and correct their mistakes. So all in all, overall, these advantages shows that AI, when used properly, can enhance learning experiences and also support teachers and improve the quality of education. And now, we also have the cons of AI in education, that remind us that while technology offers many benefits, it's also bring serious challenges that must be addressed. So one major concern is the privacy and data security. So many AI tools collect large amount of personal information such as kaning academic records, behavior data, and even biometric details. So if these systems are not properly protected, student data may be exposed to breaches or misuse, which putting the learner's safety and privacy at risk. So we need to we need to be more kaning aware of this kaning privacy and data security kay pwede gid kayo ni siya magamit sa mga pwede gid kayo ni siya magamit and maput pa sa risk ang mga students. Ang students mas ani kay daghan na kaayo mga students ang na-rely ani, and a lot also of AI collect large amount of kaning personal information. So there are also another issue which is the bias and misinformation. That's mao ni akong giingon, misinformation. So AI systems depend on the data used to train them, and if kaning data is biased, the results can be unfair. And this may lead to stereotypes or inaccurate judgment about the students' abilities and potential. Okay, because some AI tools may also give incorrect or oversimplified answers, which can mislead students and spread false information. Because of this, no, kaning both teachers and students must always verify AI-generated content and use critical thinking. Mao na karon pud no ang teachers kay na naman sa tay mga kuano kaning AI generated no kana pwede na ma-detect nga kaning ang answer sa mga bata kay gikan jud sa AI. And if the teachers read the answers of the students, may baw-an gid niya nga gikan jud sa or AI gid ang answers, because again teachers though dili 100% perfect, but kuan jud biya nimo ang humanized jud nga human jud na kanang answers, mailhan jud nimo ang AI, because they mahibong kang anong kuan kayo kanang lami kay ang answer, nindot kay ang gipanggamit, and if patubago na sa klase is they cannot answer, no? So mao na ang teachers karon, and even me during my internship, I always check their answers, no, kay na naman tay mga kaning pwede ma-use, no, nga ma-detect nga AI ang answer sa students. And next is over reliance on technology. So it is also a concern because excessive use of AI may weaken, no, the students' critical thinking, creativity, ilahang problem solving skills, no, that could turn them into passive learners, no. And AI tools can also encourage cheating. Maogid na kani encourage cheating, no, because as students may depend on program like ChatGPT to complete essays or homework, no, mas samot na nga karon nga kanang masamot nga dili na kayo sila or dili na kaayo kaning sa tawag aning ay kanang mas musamot ilahang katapulan kay naa na may ChatGPT, mao naman lang ilahang kuan gamiton kani kay dali ra kayo i-ChatGPT nila kani kay pwede ra man jud ni i-ChatGPT. So teachers should remind students about this one kay if we let the students to rely on the AI samot na kaning ChatGPT, the students will be more tapulan, dili na kanang kuan, mas mo rely na maayo sila sa kaning ChatGPT, ang ChatGPT nila pa-answer sa ilang homework, sa ilang essays, no? That is this also, no, adds pressures to teachers, no, kaila pa man ato pa i-detect ilahang work kung AI generated bagid ni siya, and also may also reduce trust in traditional assessment methods and professional judgment, because karon may naamji kanang even kanang namji mga teachers na karon na magduda if ikaw ba jud ang nag-answer ani or AI generated ba ni, no, because of AI, no, mas na-reduce ang trust, no, in traditional assessment methods. And also there are equity issues, no, related to kaning AI use in schools. So not all students have access to devices, no, or stable internet at home. So it can also widen the digital divide between learners from different economic backgrounds. So too many AI platforms may also overwhelm younger, no, mga students or those with special educational needs. And additionally kaning integrating the AI can be expensive, no, and time consuming, especially for under-resourced schools, because some teachers may also struggle to adapt new technologies or fear job displacement, leading to kaning stress and reduced motivation. So naabigid tay ka na mga kanang teacher samot na kanang mga kanang kuan dili kaayo ka mausa kaning kaning technologies, samot na kaning mga kanang guwang-guwang na mga kaning teachers kay it's really hard for them no to adapt the new technology samot na karon. So lastly, AI may lead to a lack of human interaction in education because um, um, teachers provide emotional support, empathy, and guidance that AI cannot replace. So without strong human connection, learning may feel less meaningful, and students social and emotional development no may kaning be affected in all yeah may be affected. So these advantages no shows that the importance of using AI dapat carefully, ethically, and in balance with human teaching. So I hope no you nakasabot mo aning the pros and cons of AI in education because it's really important no to know the disadvantages and advantages of the AI. Now, before we will end this part of the discussion, I have first the questions. So I will repeat these questions that I asked earlier. So first, how do you think AI will affect the future role of the teachers? Second is how can AI tools improve education for learners with disabilities or language barriers? And lastly, why is human judgment still important even when AI provides quick answers? Now, it's your turn to answer the questions and let's see if you really understand and listen to me while discussion.
Good morning, everyone. Now let's talk about personalized learning and how AI is transforming education. So, traditional education is often described as one size fits all, and we've all felt this at some point of our life. We all know that before most classrooms, the same lesson is given to everyone at the same pace and in the same way. Some students understand things quickly, while others need more time or different approaches. Not because they're not capable, but because we learn differently. But now, because of modern technology, learning no longer has to be like that. We can now design learning experiences that are more student centered, more engaging, and more responsive to each learner's needs. And that approach is called personalized learning. Okay, so think of it like a custom made outfit, meaning it's tailored to your exact measurements, right? So it fits you perfectly instead of forcing you into something one size fits all. So the same goes for education. Personalized learning is especially important today because students are diverse and the world is constantly changing. Personalized learning helps students adapt and prepare for future challenges. Now, here's something to think about. As future educators, why is it important to consider students' individual interests, abilities, and learning pace in the classroom? From my own experience as a pre service teacher, I know that not everyone learns the same way. Some students are confident in recitation, others perform better in written work, like me personally. There are some who learn fast, while others need more time and guidance. So, when we teachers recognize these differences, students don't feel pressured or left behind. Instead, they feel understood and valued. So, this builds their confidence and encourages them to participate more actively. And as a result, learning becomes more meaningful, inclusive, and effective, not just for a few students, but for the entire class. All right, now let's understand more about personalized learning by talking about its core principles. So, first, we have student choice. Yes, we are well aware that students become more interested when they are allowed to choose topics that connect to their lives or interests. So when students have choices, learning no longer feels forced. They become more engaged, more motivated, and more willing to participate because they feel that their interests matter. And as a result, students take more ownership of their learning and become more responsible learners. Second, differentiated instruction. So this is when teachers adjust their teaching methods, materials, and assessments to meet each student's unique needs. As mentioned earlier, students don't learn the same way. Some understand concept better by doing, while others prefer reading or listening. For example, imagine two students studying same science topic. One might do hands-on experiment to grasp the idea, while the other might read articles or watch videos to understand it. By using differentiated instructions, teachers ensure that every student can access the lesson in a way that works best for them. Third, lastly, learner autonomy. So this means students take responsibility for their own learning. They set goals, track their progress, and make decisions about how to learn. We might notice that when students are given some control, they become more motivated and invested in their work. For example, a student might decide to focus more on a topic they find challenging or plan how to complete a project step by step. By encouraging learner autonomy, they don't just complete tasks. They learn how to learn, manage their time, and solve problems on their own, which are essential skills for life beyond the classroom. Okay, let's reflect. How can giving students more choice and responsibility in their learning improve engagement and motivation? We all know that when students feel trusted and involved in their learning, it changes how they participate. For example, if a student can choose a project topic they're genuinely interested in, they are more excited to work on it instead of just completing it because they have to. Giving students this responsibility also helps them become more independent learners. They learn to make decisions, manage their time, and take ownership of their progress. In short, learning becomes not just a task, but something meaningful and motivating. Now let's move on to the components of personalized learning, which show how this approach actually works in the classroom. First, we have curriculum adaptation. So this means that the lessons and materials are customized to fit each student's abilities, interest, and background. By adapting the curriculum, teachers can make sure that every student can access the content in a way that works best for them. For example, one student might explore a project about local culture while another focuses on a science topic they're passionate about. Second, continuous assessment. So here, teachers use formative assessments to track students' progress and adjust instructions as needed. It's like checking the map while on a road trip. You see where you are and decide if you need to take a different route. So these assessments help teachers identify which students need extra support and which students are ready to move ahead, making learning more effective for everyone. And third, mentorship and guidance. So teachers act as coaches or mentors, not just lecturers. They provide personalized support, help students set goals, and guide them towards becoming independent learners. So this is important because students learn better when they have someone to guide them through challenges, give feedback, and encourage them to take ownership of their learning. Next, let's talk about the benefits of personalized learning and why it matters for students like us. First, higher engagement and motivation. Students are naturally engaged when the content matches their interest and learning level. We've all noticed that it is easier to focus on something we enjoy or find meaningful. For example, a student who loves history will be more excited to work on a project about local heritage than a generic assignment. So when students are interested, they participate more actively, ask questions, and enjoy the learning process. Second, better academic outcomes. So personalized learning also helps students perform better academically. By learning at their own pace and in ways that fit their strengths, students retain information longer and master skills more effectively. It's like practicing a sport. You get better when you practice at your own speed, focusing on what you need to improve. Third, development of growth mindset and adaptability. Personalized learning helps students develop a growth mindset and adaptability. So they learn to solve problems, persist through challenges, and adjust when things don't go as planned. So these are essential skills not only for school, but also for life, as the world constantly changes and we need to be flexible and resilient. So earlier, Ms. Bacalso mentioned the role of artificial intelligence in education. So let's take a closer look at how AI is actually being integrated into modern classrooms. So artificial intelligence or AI is becoming a big part of education today. It can process student data, customize learning experiences, use predictive analytics to support student success, adapt lessons according to students' performance, give real time feedback, reduce teacher workload, and even improve learning experiences and outcomes. So, in simpler terms, AI can help teachers understand what each student needs and adjust lessons accordingly. Now, let's move on to the benefits of AI driven personalized learning and how it actually helps students and teachers. First, enhance engagement and motivation. AI makes learning more interactive and fun. For example, some lessons use gamification, like quizzes that helps or feel like games or interactive challenges that adapt to your skill level. So this keeps students' attention and makes learning enjoyable. So when lessons are personalized to each student's interest, participation and motivation naturally increase. Second, real-time feedback. Another great benefit is real-time feedback. AI can immediately show students where they went wrong and suggest ways to improve. Imagine taking a math quiz and instantly knowing which steps you missed. AI helps you correct mistakes right away. Lessons can also adapt automatically based on your performance, so learning becomes faster and more effective. Third, increase teacher efficiency. Yes, AI also helps teachers by reducing routine tasks. For example, AI can automatically grade assignments or give initial feedback to students, freeing teachers to spend more time mentoring and supporting learners individually. So teachers can then focus on meaningful interactions like guiding students through projects or helping them develop critical thinking. Fourth, improve learning outcomes. So AI driven personalized learning leads to better academic performance. Students retain knowledge longer and develop essential skills like creativity, problem solving, and adaptability. So these are not just school skills. They prepare students for lifelong learning and the challenges of the future. Now, before I give the floor to the next presenter, here's something to think about. In what ways could AI driven personalized learning present challenges or limitations in school? We know that not all students have equal access to technology, and AI may not fully understand a student's emotion or cultural background. Teachers must also make sure they don't rely entirely on AI, and data privacy must always be protected. Overall, personalized learning, especially when supported by AI, is not just a teaching strategy. It's a way to make education more meaningful, engaging, and effective for every student. By considering each learner's interests, abilities, and pace, and by using technology wisely, we can help students not only achieve academic success, but also develop the skills they need to thrive in the future. With that, I'll now give the floor to Ms. Kogonon to continue our discussion.
Thank you so much, Ms. Rosal Kahutay, for discussing personalized learning in AI education. Now, let us all delve into ethics and privacy in AI enhanced education. When we talk about ethics and privacy, what usually comes into your mind? Is it about protection? Is it about fairness? Or is it about how much information we are willing to give to technology in exchange for convenience? Now, in the context of AI education, ethics and privacy go beyond just keeping information safe. They involve how students' data is collected, used, shared, and protected, and as well as how AI decisions can affect students' learning experiences, opportunities, and well being. Now, as AI tools become more integrated into classrooms, from learning platforms and automated grading systems to online proctoring tools, it is also important to ask critical questions. Are the students fully informed? Is it the data that is being used fairly and responsibly? And how do we ensure that technology supports learning without compromising students' rights? Now, with these questions in mind, let us explore the key ethical and privacy issues in AI enhanced education. Data privacy in AI enhanced education refers to the protection of students' personal, academic, and sometimes sensitive information that AI systems collect and analyze. Many AI tools used in schools rely on data to function effectively, but this data must be handled responsibly. Now, for example, academic performance and learning progress data such as grades, quiz scores, and assignments results are commonly collected by adaptive learning platforms. While this helps the AI suggest personalized lessons or identify learning gaps, improper handling of this data could label students unfairly or affect how the teachers perceive them. AI tools also tracks participation, engagement, and online behavior such as how often students log in, how long they stay on a platform, or whether they actively participate in discussions. For instance, a learning management system might flag students as inactive based on login patterns, even if they are studying offline. And without proper safeguards, this information could be misinterpreted or misused. Another concern is assessment results and feedback history. Automated grading tools store previous test results and feedback, which can be accessed by unauthorized individuals if systems are not secure. This may also affect students' academic reputation or privacy. Now, finally, some AI tools collect biometric or sensitive data, such as facial recognition for attendance, voice recordings for language learning, or keystroke patterns during online exams. If this data is leaked or stored improperly, it can pose serious risk to student safety and privacy. And this is why strong data protection policies are essential. Informed consent means that students and, when applicable, parents clearly understand how AI tools collect, use, and store data before those tools are used. Transparency ensures that AI systems are not black boxes but are understandable to users. For example, if a school uses an AI powered learning platform, students should be informed about what data is being collected, such as grades, participation logs, or writing samples, and why this data is needed. Schools should also explain how long the data will be stored and who can access it, whether it's teachers, administrators, or third party developers. Students and parents should have the option to opt out if they are uncomfortable with certain data collection practices, especially when sensitive data is involved. Transparency also applies to AI decision making. For instance, if an AI system predicts that a student is at risk of failing, both the teacher and the student should understand why the AI reached that conclusion. Without transparency, AI decisions may feel unfair, confusing, or discriminatory. Next is bias and fairness. Bias in AI occurs when systems produce unfair or unequal outcomes because of biased training data or flawed algorithms. In education, this can significantly impact students' learning opportunities and evaluations. One example is misgrading and language bias. An AI essay graders may favor standard American or British English and penalize students who write in regional dialects or in Filipino English, even if their ideas are clear and well developed. Another issue is predictive bias, which some AI systems use demographic or socioeconomic data to predict academic success. This can lead to certain students being labeled as at risk based on not on ability but on background factors such as income level or school location, resulting in unfair interventions. There is also what we call an accessibility bias, wherein AI tools that are not designed with diverse learners in mind may fail to support students with disabilities or different learning styles. For example, an AI tutor that relies heavily on text may disadvantage students with visual impairments if no alternative formats are provided. And now these examples show why fairness, inclusive design, and human oversight are crucial in educational AI. Next is surveillance and student well-being. AI surveillance tools are increasingly used in education to monitor student behavior. These include online exam proctoring systems, facial recognition for attendance, and even emotion detection software. While they aim to promote academic integrity, they can negatively affect student well-being. For instance, online proctoring tools may track eye movement, background noise, or screen activity, and students often report increased stress and anxiety, feeling constantly watched or afraid of being falsely accused of cheating. Excessive surveillance can also lead to a loss of trust between students and educators, and when students feel distrusted, learning may become more about compliance than engagement. Additionally, continuous monitoring can result in privacy invasion, especially when AI tracks emotional states or personal behavior beyond academic needs. This raises ethical questions about how much monitoring is appropriate in educational setting. Lastly, the over-reliance on AI. While AI can support teaching and learning, over-reliance on it can create new problems. Students may become passive learners if they rely too much on AI-generated answers, feedback, or study plans instead of developing critical thinking and problem-solving skills. For example, constantly depending on AI explanations may limit students' ability to analyze concepts independently. AI tools can also make mistakes or misinterpret context, and an automated grading system may misjudge creative or unconventional responses, which is why human judgment remains essential. Teachers also play a critical role in guiding, mentoring, and making final decisions. AI should support educators, not replace their professional expertise and ethical responsibility. We have questions to ponder. First is, how would you evaluate the effectiveness of current privacy protections in AI educational tools, and what improvements would you suggest? Current privacy protections in AI educational tools are somewhat effective but often lack transparency. Students are not always clearly informed about what data is collected or how it is being used. And improvements should include clearer consent processes, limited data collection, and stronger monitoring of data use. In cases where AI makes an incorrect or harmful decision in education, who should be held accountable and why? Educational institutions and AI developers should be held accountable because they design, select, and implement AI systems. Teachers should review AI outputs, but responsibility lies with those who control the technology and its policies. Lastly, how would you balance the need for academic integrity while protecting students' privacy and emotional well being? Academic integrity can be maintained through less invasive assessments, such as projects, open book exams rather than constant surveillance. Clear communication and ethical use of AI help protect students' privacy and reduce stress.
Thank you so much, Cyrene, for that comprehensive discussion. And now we're going to talk about future trends in AI powered education. I am Jay Duran Marco Maras, and are you ready to listen? Come on, let's hop in. Artificial intelligence, or as what we call AI, has become a transformative force in education, reshaping how learning is designed, delivered, and supported. And by late 2025, AI in education focuses on supporting human learning rather than replacing it. It enables like personalized learning, it follows ethical standards, and repositions teachers as mentors who guide critical and creative thinking. So this is the focus of AI in 2025, of how we do AI. Before we delve in, let us take note of this. AI driven adaptive learning systems are rapidly dismantling the one size fits all industrial model of education. Therefore, these have become inclusive, as we say. Unlike e-learning tools that offered basic static branching paths, no? So we have to take note that it has become dynamic already. AI adjusts difficulty, pace, and format in real time based on student performance. And there is an early identification of learning gaps that leads to improved academic outcomes of the students. So that is really from a research and according to Microsoft as well. Now, if we talk about the neurodiversity and inclusion of AI now designs learning environments that accommodate dyslexia, ADHD, and other special needs. And now it focus shifts from remediation to accessibility by design. So it is more accessible now by students with special needs. So that is one thing about AI. And now let's proceed to the generative AI as a cognitive copilot. So, what does it mean? It has evolved from a novelty to a fundamental layer of the learning stack. Okay. So, actually, before we only hear like AI, like something like we do for fun and all. But now, at this point of our generation, it has become a layer already. It has become a part already of learning, of education. And as what we see or read here, a part of learning stack. And first of that is the pedagogical focus is shifting already from using AI to retrieve answers to using AI for Socratic dialogue. That is from answer getting to inquiry. So the students already use it for dialogue, for debate, for role play, and problem solving. Mhm. And here, students must develop skills in prompt design and critical evaluation so that they can get the maximum amount or the maximized answer from their AI prompts. And undeniably, generative AI has also become a creative partner. So Gen AI or generative AI assists now in research synthesis, in hypothesis formation, and content creation. And there was actually a research from Dr. Somalinog, who is from Cebu Normal University, wherein they tackled about AI and its contribution to education or some sort. And probably Dr. Somalinog used references or sources from AI because in order to completely understand AI, you have to use AI. And also in content creation, in generating images. According to Attorney Cosido, he uses AI for like presentations, like using images from AI because wala pa'y balaod nga nag-prevent ani, no? And that's actually one of the raised concerns here. It's about authorship and intellectual property. How can we protect intellectual property with AI? So that's still a lingering concern in using AI. And now we proceed to the shifting role of the educator. So, fears of AI replacing teachers have largely been replaced by the concept of intelligence augmentation. So, what does it mean? Now we have to see it in the lens of operational efficiency. So, AI now handles high volume, low touch tasks such as paggrado sa assignment, pag-schedule, and pag-record sa attendance. No, so this liberation of time allows educators to focus on high touch mentorship, emotional support, and complex instruction. That is according to Microsoft 2025. Everyone, again, AI still cannot replace us teachers. Why? Because AI may have handled low-touch tasks, kaning mga pag-grado sa assignment, kaning mga pag-schedule, kaning mga pag-attendance, and everything pa nga mahimo sa AI. But AI cannot have emotions. AI cannot have that kind of feeling, that kind of connection to their students. So still, AI cannot replace the teachers that we are. And now, let's proceed now to the data informed instruction. No, so in totality, if we understand it, educators use AI dashboards to monitor engagement and predict risks early. No, so makatabang yun sa educator. And instruction becomes more proactive and targeted when we use artificial intelligence. Okay? And really, this AI can really help a teacher when it comes to data gathering. Mhm. And now we proceed to this one, ethical governance and the digital divide 2.0 or 2.0. So we have to remember this concept, huh? As AI becomes ubiquitous, what do we mean by ubiquitous? It is found everywhere, it is present. Okay? Ethical concerns have matured from abstract debates to concrete policy challenges. Okay? So, first of that is algorithmic bias and fairness. So, there is a growing scrutiny on the training data of educational AIs to ensure they do not perpetuate cultural or gender stereotypes. Okay, so AI systems must avoid reinforcing cultural, gender, and linguistic biases. So, transparency in training data and outputs is critical. Okay, so that is really what we have to put in mind ethically. We have to use AI ethically for unbiased and fairness treatment to everyone. And now we proceed to this one, the new digital divide or the digital divide 2.0 or 2.0. So we have to remember this. Okay, the gap is no longer just about access to hardware, sa mga laptops, sa mga computers like that, but access to premium AI models, no? Digital poverty now includes the inability to afford advanced AI tutoring systems, mga potentially widening the achievement gap between public and private education sectors. That is from Meow and Holmes 2023. And not just that, in totality, in macro perspective, no, in the biggest perspective, maka-afford ba kaha ang mga government sa third world countries compared sa government sa mga developed and the highly developed countries to buy premium AI models and deliver it to their students? I guess no. And that would create a digital divide. Okay? So layo na kay taggangtang nila, no? So for example, Philippines, can we really afford buying premium AI models and distribute it to our students? I guess we would be difficult in that part. And we would have digital divide from other developed and highly developed countries. So yeah, that is the meaning of digital divide 2.0. Okay, so we have questions here, okay? So for this pedagogical question, does the integration of this AI tool shift cognitive load away from the student or over reliance, or does it scaffold higher thinking or higher order thinking or critical engagement? So AI should scaffold higher order thinking or HOTS, not replace student effort. When used well, artificial intelligence guides students through questioning, through feedbacking, and through reflection. It helps us reanalyze, evaluate, and create. And over reliance occurs only when artificial intelligence is positioned as an answer provider. When framed as a thinking partner, it's strengthened. It strengthens critical engagement. Okay. Now for the ethical question. If an AI system predicts a student is at risk, does this label create a self-fulfilling prophecy? And how transparent is the data driving this conclusion? So predictive labels can become self-fulfilling if treated as fixed judgments rather than early warning signals. AI risk predictions should be used for support and intervention, okay, for us for creating intervention, for creating support for all of them, not tracking or stigmatization. Okay, so that is really on the ethical part. Now, on equity, are we training students to be merely consumers of AI, or are we equipping them with the AI fluency required to question and shape the teachers and the students? Students and educators must understand what data is used, how conclusions are reached, and how human judgment can override AI outputs. Okay? So, we should not just be merely consumers of AI. We must equip ourselves also with AI fluency. That's it. And these are the trends, the future trends of artificial intelligence that we are talking about in this discussion. And at this part, we are going now to proceed to the articles related to the topics. And that would be garnered and discussed by one of our teachers here, Mr. Arnold Jade Dansel.
The next part of our discussion will focus on selected articles corresponding to the four topics we previously discussed. The first article is titled Artificial Intelligence in Education. This is a review authored by Lydia Shen, Ping Shen, and Zijan Lim. This article provides a comprehensive overview of the integration and application of artificial intelligence in the field of education. This article is a comprehensive literature review on artificial intelligence in education. It examines how AI technologies are used in different educational settings and how they affect teaching and learning process. The article highlights that AI can support teachers in lesson planning and assessment while helping students learn in a more personalized way. It also discusses the opportunities of using AI, such as improved learning experiences, as well as challenges like data privacy, ethical concerns, and the need for proper teaching training. Overall, the article shows that AI has strong potential in education, but must be used responsibly. This part of the article focuses on assessing the impact of artificial intelligence on education, particularly in terms of administration, instruction, and student learning. It explained how AI is used to support administrative tasks, improving teaching strategies, and enhance learning experience. The article also reviews existing research on AI applications in education using a narrative qualitative approach, which means it analyzes and summarizes findings from previous studies rather than using numerical data. Lastly, it identifies current trends in the use of AI in education and suggests possible directions for future research, highlighting areas where further studies are still needed.
Artificial intelligence is used in multiple educational domains. In administrative tasks, AI helps automate processes such as grading, scheduling, and content organization, making school operation more efficient. In terms of instructional support, AI-powered tools like intelligent tutoring systems and adaptive learning platform wherein it adjusts to each student's pace and performance. Lastly, AI is also applied in learning analytics, where it helps educators analyze students' behavior and performance data to improve instruction and learning outcomes.
Artificial intelligence help enhance personal learning by adapting instructional materials to meet individual student needs, abilities, and learning pace. It also support teachers by reducing routine and time-consuming tasks, which allows them to focus more on direct instruction and meaningful interaction with their students. In addition, AI facilitates feedback and assessment by making this process faster, more accurate, and more timely, which is very helpful because why? It improves both teaching and learning outcomes. Despite its benefits, the article also highlights several challenges in integrating artificial intelligence into education. One major concern is the difficulty of integrating AI tools into the existing curriculum and school infrastructure. Another challenge is the lack of proper teacher training, which make it harder for educators to use AI tools effectively. The articles also emphasize ethical consideration such as data privacy, biases, and data security, which are common themes in AI in education research. These issues remind us that while AI can support learning, it must be implemented carefully and responsibly. This article concludes that artificial intelligence is already widely adopted in educational institutions and is transforming traditional teaching and administrative practices. AI technologies show strong potential in customizing learning experiences, improving efficiency, and supporting educators in their roles. However, the article also emphasizes that successful integration of AI requires careful attention to ethical concerns, proper teacher training, and adequate infrastructure to ensure meaningful and responsible use in education. Before we end to this first article, here are two questions that we need to ponder. Number one is, how does the integration of artificial intelligence in education transform teaching and learning processes, according to this article? Second, what ethical and practical challenges does the article identify in the use of artificial intelligence in educational settings, and why must this be addressed?
Good day, everyone. This is Naomi Helena Concha, and let's now move on to the next article, which is entitled AI and Personalized Learning Bridging the Gap with Modern Educational Goals by Christian Julius Laak and John Guru. So, this article is very relevant to the previously discussed subtopic about personalized learning and AI integration because it focuses on how artificial intelligence or AI can support personalized learning in modern education. So, the main idea of this study is that students learn in different ways at different speeds and with different needs. So, traditional classrooms often use one teaching method for everyone, which may not work well for all learners. So, this is where AI becomes. So, what is this article all about? It basically examines how AI driven personalized learning systems are being used in education today and whether they truly support what modern education is trying to achieve. So, one major strength discussed in this article is that AI can adapt learning to individual students. Like, for example, in platforms like Khan Academy or Duolingo, which are examples of independent learning platforms, AI tracks how a student answers questions. So, if a student struggles with a math concept, the system provides easier examples or extra practice. And if the student performs well, the system moves them to more challenging tasks. So this helps students learn at their own pace and it reduces frustration. So, in the overview of the results of this article, the authors do not reject technology or AI outright. Instead, they carefully analyze research studies and show that while AI based personalized learning has clear strengths, it also has serious limitations when viewed from an educational perspective. So, what are these limitations? So, that's what we are going to discuss in the succeeding parts of my presentation. Have a review of the purpose and scope of this article. So, the purpose of this study is to understand whether AI driven personalized learning systems truly support the goals of modern education rather than just improving test scores or efficiency. So, modern educational goals include several things such as helping students develop critical thinking skills, creativity, independence, social responsibility, and emotional well being. And to evaluate these systems fairly, the researchers used the a specific framework called the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, or also known as the OECD Learning Compass 2030, as their main framework. So, this framework outlines what students need to succeed in the future, such as knowledge, skills, values, and attitudes. So, it emphasizes developing well rounded learners who can contribute positively to society. And by using this framework, the authors assess whether AI tools encourage critical thinking skills or just memorization, promote student agency such as making choices about learning. Let's now slowly dissect the significant findings under this article. First is that learning becomes limited to narrow subjects. So, this entails that most AI based personalized learning systems work best in subjects that are easy to measure, such as mathematics, science, programming, and language drills, which makes sense because these subjects fit well with AI models since answers are usually clear and measurable. Like, for example, in a math learning app, AI can quickly check whether a student's answer is correct and then decide what question to show next. And if a student struggles with fractions, the system provides more practice. And if the student improves, the system moves on to more advanced topics. This works well because math problems usually have one correct answer. However, modern education also values skills such as critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, ethical reasoning, and problem solving in real life context. So, overall, this explains that when education relies heavily on AI based personalized learning, learning is risk on becoming too narrow and focused only on what is easy to measure. Another significant idea highlighted in this article is that students may lose control over their own learning. A major concern raised in the results is that issue of learner agency, which means a student's ability to make decisions about their own learning. So many AI systems decide what students should study, in what order, and what pace. While this helps students move efficiently through content, it can also make them passive learners who simply follow instructions. And the article points out that students need practice in setting goals, choosing strategies, and evaluating their own progress. And these are known as self regulated learning skills, which are essential for lifelong learning. And the results show that when AI takes too much control, students may rely on the system instead of developing these skills themselves. In some cases, students' ability to self regulate even declines. The article also examines how many AI driven personalized learning systems use gamification to motivate students. Gamification basically means adding game like elements such as points, badges, levels, streaks, and leaderboards to make learning feel more fun and engaging. At first, gamification can be effective. Like, for example, a student may feel excited to earn points for completing lessons on a learning app or feel proud when they unlock a badge for finishing a topic. Leaderboards can also push some students to try harder so they can rank higher than their classmates. And this often leads to increased short term engagement, especially at the beginning. However, while gamification can increase short term engagement, the article shows that rewards can reduce students' natural interest in learning. Like, for example, a student who once enjoyed reading might start focusing only on earning points or maintaining a streak. And over time, the student may stop reading for enjoyment and only participate when a reward is offered. This shifts motivation from wanting to learn to wanting to earn rewards. Next is competition can discourage cooperation. So leaderboards compare students against each other, which can make learning feel like a race instead of a shared experience. Lastly, motivation based on rewards often disappears when the rewards are removed. So when points, badges, or rewards are removed, students may lose interest in the learning activity altogether. So these are completely contradicting to what modern education is trying to achieve, which is to develop a deep-rooted motivation where students learn because they are curious or interested and see the value in what they are learning. Is that learning becomes too individual and less social. Another important result is that AI driven personalized learning often leads to students learning alone, usually on a screen. While this supports individual pacing, it also reduces opportunities for discussion, collaboration, and shared problem solving. So, the article suggests that while AI driven personalized learning is useful for individual practice and skill building, it should not replace social learning experiences. Because when students learn better, they explain ideas or hear different perspectives and work together. Lastly, the article also highlights that generative AI is promising but also risky. So when students rely too heavily on generative AI, they may, number one, think less on their own. So instead of planning ideas, organizing arguments, and writing drafts, a student might simply ask AI to generate an entire essay. So number two is show reduced mental effort. Learning often requires struggling with problems, making mistakes, and reflecting on them. So, if AI provides instant answers or solutions, students may skip this important effort and weaken their critical thinking skills. And if students accept AI generated responses without checking accuracy or considering alternative viewpoints, they may become passive learners. And now, for the overall conclusion of this article, it emphasizes that personalized learning should be about developing the whole learner, not just optimizing test scores, and that AI can be helpful only when used thoughtfully within a human centered educational system. So the authors argue that education should not be redesigned around technology. Instead, educational goals such as helping students think critically, work with others, and become responsible lifelong learners must come first. So, technology should only be used when it clearly supports these goals, not when it replaces essential human aspects of learning. And to address this, the article proposes a human AI hybrid model. In this model, teachers play a central role in guiding learning. Like for example, teachers decide uh, what students need to learn, like facilitate discussions and provide emotional and moral support. So students actively participate by making decisions about their learning, asking questions, and reflecting on their progress rather than passively following AI recommendations. And in this hybrid approach, AI supports practice, feedback, and reflection. Like for instance, AI can help students practice skills at home and give quick feedback on quizzes or highlight areas that need improvement. However, learning remains social and collaborative with groups discussions, projects, and peer interactions led by teachers. A real life example of this model could be a classroom where students use an AI platform to practice math individually, then come together to solve real world problems in groups guided by a teacher. And the AI helps with skill building, but the teacher ensures deep understanding and collaboration. Now, moving forward to the next article entitled Ethical Principles for Artificial Intelligence in Education by Andy Nguyen, Hangon Ngo, Yvonne Hong, Bell Dang, and Big Fong Thi Nguyen. This article is closely connected to our previous discussion on ethics and privacy in AI enhanced education. And now for the overview of this article. This mainly talks about how AI should be used responsibly in schools and universities. So, the authors recognize that AI has great potential to improve education, but they also emphasize that AI can create serious risks, especially when it involves collecting student data, making decisions about learning, influencing student behavior, and reducing human control in education. So, these are the main points that we are going to elaborate shortly. So, this research is important because artificial intelligence is becoming more common in schools, and AI is now used in learning platforms, grading systems, student monitoring tools, and personalized learning applications. And while these technologies can help improve learning, the authors emphasize that AI must be used responsibly and ethically, especially when students' data and rights are involved. Before we unpack the different ideas highlighted in this article, let us first have the purpose and scope of this article. Let's start with the purpose. This article aims to find out whether there is a shared global agreement on what ethical AI in education would look like. So, the article recognizes that AI is already being used in many parts of education, such as grading, student monitoring, online platforms, and academic support tools. And because of this, the authors want to see whether there is a common ethical foundation guiding on how AI should be used. And as for the scope of this article explains what the study does and does not do. So, this article is not an experiment and does not test a specific AI tool. Instead, it focuses on policy, ethics, and guidelines. And now for the main points discussed in this article. Number one is the government stewardship. It means that AI should not be used randomly or without planning. So there must be a clear purpose and understanding of how the AI will affect teaching, learning, and students' rights. And with good governance, the school first studies how the AI works, in which teachers are trained to review and verify AI generated grades, and clear guidelines are set on when and how the AI can be used. So there should be clear rules, leadership, and oversight. So without leadership and oversight, AI decisions may be made automatically with no one taking responsibility for mistakes or harm. Next is decisions about AI should involve many stakeholders such as teachers, students, developers, and policy makers. So before introducing an AI system that tracks student attendance and behaviors, teachers can share concerns about classroom pressure, and students can express privacy worries. And at the same time, developers can explain how data is processed, and policymakers can ensure that the system follows education and data protection laws. So, the ethical concerns should be considered from the start, not after the problems occur. And if a school uses to predict which students are at risk of failure, ethical planning would question whether this labeling could harm students' confidence, or whether safeguards would be put in place to ensure predictions are used for support, not as punishment. And most importantly, teachers would still make final decisions. And now for the second principle, which is transparency and accountability. This principle emphasizes openness and responsibility. So transparency means students and teachers should know what data is being collected, and how the AI works, why decisions are made, and how AI affects learning. So I think this is kind of understandable, which is, in short, even when AI makes recommendations, humans must remain accountable for decisions that affect students' learning. And next is we have sustainability and proportionality. So this principle reminds us that AI should be used only when it is truly necessary and beneficial. So it includes environmental sustainability because AI uses energy and resources. So schools should encourage to choose energy efficient tools and avoid unnecessary AI use that contributes to carbon emissions. Next is economic sustainability because it also has effects on jobs and labor, and AI should support human labor, not unfairly replace it or reduce job security without careful planning. Next is social sustainability, which significantly impacts culture and society. So sustainable AI use ensures that human connection remains central to. Another very crucial point highlighted is the issue of privacy. Privacy is one of the strongest concerns in AI education. This principle stresses that students' personal data must be protected, consent must be informed and voluntary, learners should know what data is collected and why, and data should not be misused or stored unnecessarily. So, this principle reminds us that students are not just data points. Even when AI systems analyze learning behavior, human rights and dignity must always come first. The fifth principle is security and safety. This principle focuses on protecting users from harm, in which security means protecting data from hacking, leaks, or misuse. Safety means ensuring AI does not cause unintended harm, preventing technical failures or harmful decisions. So, this principle is essential because students are a vulnerable group and mistakes can affect academic futures. So the sixth principle is the principle of inclusiveness and fairness. So it focuses on making sure that AI in education benefits everyone, not just a few groups. It includes equal access to AI tools, consideration for students with disabilities. So, an example for this would be providing them audio instructions or allowing them alternative assessment formats. Next is avoiding bias in data and algorithms. So, bias can appear in grading systems, prediction tools, or learning recommendations. Because as what we have previously mentioned, AI has access to our personal data. So, to ensure fairness, AI outcomes should be regularly reviewed, and most importantly, teachers should be able to challenge AI decisions. And lastly, we have ensuring fairness across gender, race. Moving forward to the last principle highlighted in this article, we have the human-centered AI in education. This has also been mentioned in the previous article and is considered as one of the most important principles. It emphasizes that AI should support humans, not replace them. So, learners should remain active decision makers, in which teachers should retain professional judgment, and AI should not manipulate, pressure, or control learners. In short, AI is a tool to assist education, but humans must also always remain at the center. The authors argue that AI in education is both promising and risky. They stress that AI can improve learning but only if used ethically. So, the seven ethical principles were already laid out previously. It is important to apply those principles as the key to realizing AI's potential. Next is ethical principles must guide AI from design to implementation. So, the authors stressed also that ethics should not be an afterthought. Ethical considerations must be integrated during the development of AI tools while implementing AI in schools and throughout the ongoing monitoring of AI systems. And lastly, education must prioritize human rights, fairness, and learner well-being. So, the previously discussed principles must guide every step of AI use in education. This ensures that technology serves education rather than undermining it.
Now, class, we will be having an activity. This activity is called AI Innovation Workshop. Now, for the instruction, you will design a unique AI powered educational tool or solution that addresses a specific topic related to AI in education. You have to form 4 groups. Each group will be assigned one topic only. Group 1 is assigned in AI in education. Group 2 is for personalized learning. Group 3 is for ethics and privacy. And lastly, Group 4 is assigned in future trends in AI education. Now, with your group, you have to brainstorm ideas related to your assigned topic, and you have to think creatively about how AI can solve problems, improve learning, or address challenges in education. You have to list as many ideas as possible. Now, you have to create a simple proposal for your AI solution using Google Slides, Jamboard, or any collaborative tool. Your proposal must include the name of your AI tool or solution. You have to include a brief description of how it works and also the key features. And lastly, the potential benefits for students and the teachers. And when done, you have to finalize and submit your activity in the Google Classroom. And when done, you have to finalize and submit your activity in the Google Classroom. And when done, you have to finalize and submit your... Congratulations, class! We have now completed our discussion and activity for today. To assess your understanding, we will be giving an assessment. And don't worry, the assessment will be posted together with the recorded video in the Google Classroom, so you have to stay tuned for the announcement. For your assignment, you are tasked to read about teaching and learning in the new normal. This includes the following topics: teaching and learning modalities, distance learning, online learning, web-based learning, and remote learning. And as you go through the reading materials, make comprehensive notes for each modality. Your notes should include the definition, main features, advantages, disadvantages, and other important details. Make sure your notes are well organized and easy to understand. You may use bullet points, tables, or any format that helps you study effectively. During our next class session, you will be asked to present or discuss your understanding of these learning modalities, so please make sure you are well prepared. Thank you so much for your active participation and for listening attentively to our discussion today. We truly appreciate your openness to understanding how artificial intelligence can enhance education. As we conclude, remember that responsible and informed use of AI will shape the future of learning. Stay safe and have a great day!